Hello, this is Kate McCoy, McCoy Photography. I'm going to walk you through my editing process with an image from an outdoor session. This was taken towards dusk, and I was using an external flash. If you look at their pupils, you can see the position of that speed light. So this was a dad and his sons, and I'm pretty happy with the expressions in this image. So first things I look at with any image would be the exposure and the white balance. So I'm happy with my exposure, and I'm also happy with the white balance. For outside sessions, I usually do auto white balance. For inside, I will do a custom white balance. But for outdoors, I just let the camera do its best, and I think it did a great job in this case. So I'm going to leave the white balance, going to leave the exposure alone. This is straight out of the camera, what we're looking at. This was shot with a 135 lens. So I love that lens for this nice creamy blur in the background. I was shooting at f-stop 3.5, so pretty wide open. And I will put my other things on the screen for you. So I'm going to start off with some retouching on these faces. So first off, I'll do some teeth whitening on Dad. Pretty much all adults could use a little teeth whitening, myself included, because we love our coffee. So with a brush at 100% and an action for teeth whitening, I'm just going to carefully go over Dad's teeth, avoiding his lips. And I'm going to flatten that layer. I'll create a new layer and use the dodge tool with midtones, 50%. I'm going to just enhance the catch lights, add a little bit more of a highlight. Here we go. I will flatten that again. I tend to create a lot of layers and flatten as I go. It just seems to be how I work. I'll use another action that will sharpen the eyes, adding a little more sharpness just on the eye area. I like to see the lashes defined, and there we go. I'm going to use this spot healing brush to take care of any bits of food or scratches. Not too much to take care of. I don't normally do skin softening on children in this age since their skin is already so beautiful, and I don't like to do a lot of skin softening on adult men. So from here, I just want to address the red noses on these boys. It was getting chilly at this point in the session, so their noses were getting pretty pink. I'm going to use a hue saturation adjustment layer. In the drop-down menu, I will select reds. I'll use this first dropper to go right on the tip of this little guy's nose, and this second dropper on some skin that looks good to me. I'll bring the hue slider all the way down. The people in the image are turning purple and blue. I will come down here to this slider. I'll take the triangle on the right side and drag it to the left. And what I'm doing is isolating just the areas of the skin that are red. Now I'm ignoring Dad. He's almost entirely in blue, meaning a lot of red in his skin. Because of the difference in skin tone between Dad and the boys, I'm just ignoring him and looking at the boys' faces. So right now I've isolated these areas around their eyes, nose, and lips. So those are the pink areas. I'm going to bring this hue slider back until I am happy with the appearance of their noses. Now at this point I've gone too far and they look green and weird. So I'm going to come back. And I'm happy with the way that their noses look, but I do not want this effect on any other parts of the image. Dad looks strange. Their lips are not as red as they naturally are. So I'm going to invert that layer and paint it on only on the boys' noses. So that way I have eliminated the red nose from the cold. but not taken red out of places where it looks appropriate. So I'll flatten that, and I'm happy with how my subjects look at this point. So I'm going to turn my attention to the background and the overall appearance of the image. I'm going to run an action right now. This is the Velvet Matte collection called Plum Blossom. I like that at about 25%. And let me bring this back over. I'll flatten that. And I want to take a look at my levels. Anytime I add haze, I probably will need to adjust the shadows. I like my histogram to be touching both on the shadow side and the highlight side. So, quick adjustment there. Now looking at this image, I think I'll add a little bit of haze on my own without the use of an action. I have this burgundy tone selected. A lot of times I will just click a color in the background itself. Reduce the opacity of my brush. My brush is very soft, no hardness at all. And just add a little bit of those tones that are already found in the image. Let's get a yellow. Let's make that a little more of a goldenrod. Here we go. Maybe bring a little bit of that over here. Now if I really want to punch those colors up, I can use the sponge tool, and I always work on a layer and enhance any colors that I would like to. That's fine for me. What I want to do is make a layer, change the mode to multiply, add a mask, invert the mask, get a brush, add about 21% or so is fine, and just darken and deepen the background, get some more richness there using the multiply mode. And I'm even going to go over here, sort of giving a vignette effect. And you can see how much richer those tones are with the multiply layer. I will flatten that. Let's add a little bit more of a matte effect using a quick action there. I'm going to put that opacity, around there is fine. And let's do a vignette. Another layer, multiply, marquee tool. I'm right clicking, feather, 250, OK, delete, deselect. Let's bring that opacity down. That looks nice to me. And then I have created my own action to just speed my workflow. This action sharpens the image overall. It puts my copyright data in the file info and converts it to the right color space for the internet. So at this point, I'm ready to save it. So I hope you enjoyed this look behind the scenes at my editing process. If I have multiple images in a session that have the same lighting, I would have 4 or 5 images open at the same time and edit them in the same manner to just make it go a little bit faster. So thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful and informative for you. Take care. Bye-bye.